Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Cardi. My name is Victoria. I'm from Santiago de Chile. I'm an alcoholic. Nice to see you all. I'm really excited to be here. English is not my first language, and I will try to do my best to express my experience. From a young age, I suffer from anxiety and depression, but I didn't understand it as anxiety and depression. It just was a mood that I was living in. And I lived my youth like without understanding what was going on. And as I was growing and as I entered university and I was in high school, I started drinking. And I didn't understand why it made me so, like it released me from my anxiety and my depression, like for a period of time. And I wouldn't understand why, but what I did understand is that I wanted to feel more than that experience. It's something that I want to repeat. And it started to happen a weekend a month, then all the weekends of the month, then during weekdays. And at the same time, my mood swings would increase. I would enter my classroom and I would start crying. I could not focus. I felt asleep all the time. I felt anxious and ashamed and sad, incredibly sad, until a point that a teacher of mine recommended me to go to Codependent Anonymous. And I started going, and although it was really a good experience, it wasn't enough. I kept having all the problems that I had. But one thing changed. Like every one of the members of the group, when they spoke, most of them were mothers, and when they spoke, I saw my mother, and when they were speaking about their child, I saw myself. And at that point, I understand that I have a problem. I kept having these problems because I wouldn't decide to start going to AA because I thought that was a group of old grumpy men, really sad, that I was going to get even sadder. I have all this prejudice until I have a major breakdown in my university, and another teacher recommend me to go to a psychiatrist. And the first thing that the psychiatrist said was that I could not longer drink or smoke weed. And I was so sure that that would happen, that the psychiatrist would tell me that I could not longer drink, that the night before I drank from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. That was my level of obsession. And when she told me that, I decided that would stop because I was really afraid. I knew what could happen if I combine the medication that I'm now taking from my diagnosis, and if I mix it up with alcohol. And that was the thing that first encouraged me. It was not despair, it was the fear of having a big injury, having a big accident. At the beginning, I did not want to stop, but I wanted to want to stop. I don't know if that makes any sense. And I pray for that, and I would go to the meetings looking for that. And when I finally went to meetings, it wasn't at all what I expected. There was a really diverse group of women and men, and they were laughing. They will have a sense of humor. They would fight. They would not agree with each other, but they always will ask for. They will always regret. And the words, it's not in my head right now, but se pedirían disculpas. They will say, I'm sorry. They would say, I'm sorry if there was a disagreement, if there was a fight. And I understood that I could make mistake, but I have to keep going. I have to I have to find my sponsor. I had to do the steps, and I had to keep going again and again and again. My mood disorder it changed completely because beside my medical professionals, I would go to AA meetings, and both of these things would complement each other. I what I understand the most is that I have to be honest, and that was hard. I was really afraid to be honest. I was really afraid to be rejected, to not be accepted, and I was really obsessed by all of these ideas. And the only thing that could heal that obsession was going to the meeting and speak and hear, speaking here, and to organize what was happening to me. When an emotion exploded in me, I need to organize it. Where does this come from? And going to the center of the problem, that it was usually something related with my higher power, or my humility, or my ego. It was always around that. And the more that I kept doing, the clearer that certain things became. I feel different. I feel useful. I try to be useful as much as I can. I take as much service as I can. And something that I love about the community and the service is that you also find friends. Like, while you are proposing ideas and applying them, you laugh a lot. You find people like yourself, or people that are different from yourself, that enrich your life so much. I heard from someone, an elder man, that sometimes what you need is to find the group that you belong to. I always felt like I didn't belong anywhere. Neither with my classmates, neither with my family, neither with the people I was close to. I felt that I belonged when I was in the community, when I was doing service, when I was finding people that were as excited as me of doing things. I read in a testimony, like a gorgeous testimony of an agnostic woman, that what she understood, how that she saw in the community, that the community motivates you. That is not like, as she understood it, it's magic, but it's motivation to grow, to learn, to discuss, and to create. And that resonates a lot with me. That yes, this community motivates me a lot. Whenever a meeting ends, I'm looking for where can I be useful? Like, with all the energy, I end up really happy. And that's something that hasn't changed from my first meeting to this one. Every time that I'm in a meeting, my heart fills with joy, or calmness, or the opposite of fear, sadness, and anxiety. And that's why I keep coming, because I know that it's the good medicine. Thank you.